One part of outdoor gardening that you don't need to think about with houseplants is the weather. Even in the UK, we can get storms, snow, and extreme sun, and all of this is felt even more keenly by your plants. So what can we do about it? Well, there are some ways of making sure that your plants have battened down the hatches and are prepared for the worst. One of the worst things your plants have to put up with is frost and cold weather. All gardeners prepare for this, but as a container gardener, you need to think about it slightly differently. For one, make sure that you're putting your plants into pots that can put up with the cold. Terracotta pots, for instance, are beautiful and lovely, but because they're porous, they can be more prone to cracking. Instead, put your hardier plants, or the ones that are going to be living through the winter, in glazed terracotta pots, which will put up with the cold better. You can also use plastic pots, stone or fiberglass. One thing you can do to protect the soil from getting too cold is by wrapping them in bubble wrap. Sounds stupid, but if you put the bubble wrap around the plant and over the top of the soil, it will give it an extra layer of insulation. This means the soil won't go through processes of freezing and then thawing, which can damage the roots. Whatever pot your plant is in, some people just move them right indoors when there's going to be a lot of snow or when it gets really, really cold. But it's important not to just bring them into your living room and put them by the radiator. That can cause more harm than good, because suddenly your outdoor plants are being put somewhere stuffy and hot, and they won't like that either. In an ideal situation, you might be able to have a garage or a shed or borrow someone's greenhouse and you can pop them in there. That will be perfect. Somewhere sheltered but unheated, basically. You might think that a heatwave could be great for your plants, and for some of them it will be, but it's still really important to check what's going on with the soil, as in containers, your plants can dry out really, really quickly. You might find you need to water them a couple of times a day. Remember, you can move your containers around in cases of extreme weather too, so those shade lovers can really be put into somewhere shady when it gets very hot. As for storms, plants are a bit like the rest of us. You've just got to batten down the hatches and hope for the best. But there are some things you can do. For a start, move your pots and plants to the part of your urban garden which is most sheltered. If your urban garden is on a roof terrace or a balcony that's quite high up, then you're going to be even more exposed to wind. And that's when you can use the filters on Patch's website to find out which plants are hardiest and will put up with wind the best. Ultimately, with extreme weather, trust that your plants are probably tougher than they look, and every time you'll learn better how to look after them. The next lesson is about fertilizing your outdoor plants.